Okay, let me know if you get this. I feel like I'm running behind when it comes to AI and all the tools, and I cannot keep up anymore. And I keep seeing everything online, and it's like, hey, do this. Hey, now you can do this with AI. And I'm like, I didn't even know you could do this with AI. It is evolving so rapidly at an exponential rate, it seems, which makes sense because AI is one of the most insane innovations we have ever seen when it comes to building a digital presence. And the truth is, people keep using it in the wrong way. The people who are writing their posts straight up with it, the ones who are starting all of their ideas with AI. Like, there is a way to win with AI and a way to lose with AI. And I have very little right to feel behind when it comes to AI because I have been experimenting with AI and content creation, and I am probably at one of the top percentages of people who are playing around with it and figuring out how it works, how it doesn't, because I have legit skin in the game. In my 20s, I run an agency with 2 individuals who are trying to serve high ticket clients, and we've got the social media presence that is running nearly almost every single day. And so staying organized and staying on top of that entire delivery schedule is big, but some solutions that have taken me months to find, and I'm going to give you a quick highlight of an overview of all of those today in this video. And by the end, you might have an idea of like, okay, I should not be using it like this, I should be using it like this instead, because this is what works. After testing it, after getting the data, the feedback, I sound like human. I'm getting the output out. I'm getting these ideas constantly blossoming, and I'm using it in a way that is growing my audience. And a lot of us are using it and not growing an audience. And there's a simple distinction. So let's get into it. I heard someone explain this, Dan Martell. He explained AI in a way I've never heard before. And it was, you gotta think about AI. They have access to every piece of information that has ever existed, lived on the internet. It can go reach it. It can go find it, essentially. And your job is to, within that big chunk of stuff, can you narrow it to a zone that is really important to the task you have? They've always said, if you want to go far, go niche or niche. Well, it's the same thing for your AI search and method, but the people who are early to these softwares, programs, whatever, they do have that one edge that other people don't. And that is understanding the basics. The people who are in the chat boxes first, they understood that, oh, this output didn't go as well as this output. So long as you're a forever learner and using data, why didn't that sound good? Like, use your own performance and your own frustration with AI to evolve in your learning with AI, because either you didn't prompt well enough or you weren't using the right tool. So there's always a solution, because information is at our fingertips. Do a quick search on AI. And that is probably one of the most fundamental basics that you can learn, is AI will make your learning curve with AI increase exponentially. Once again, I understand that some people are visual, myself included, and when it's not working in a chat, that is when I kind of upgrade. Like when I'm not understanding or it's not flowing, that is when I upgrade to a video version of what I'm trying to achieve. But the other edge or side of the basics is just getting comfortable with it. Like, if it still scares you, to try a new tool every 3-4 days, I know that sounds like a lot, but the truth is, you don't need to do it every 3 to 4 days. You need to do it maybe once every month. Why don't you just schedule once a month, take a quick audit of your tools? The number 3 thing I do to increase the quality of my output is understanding the separation between the 4 basic formats of using AI. When you're in the original chat and you say, hey, what's up? What's up, Claude? How are you tonight? That is the chat. That is probably the format of AI that 100% of people were introduced to first. Not really, but 90% of people probably use that format of AI the most. But what I do mean by that is it goes so much further. And you probably know that, but there's a prompt. There's a simple prompt, but then there's a more in-depth prompt that you can split into 4 elements to make it the most effective, which are up here on the screen. The prompt is for a very specific thing, task, execution, ideation, brain dump, whatever. That's great. But can you give it that zone of information again that is niche to that task that will help that task execute more effectively? And that is the layer, the next layer that you want to add on to a prompt. It is the project that you keep all of this information kind of stored in. It is the database. It is the skill file or the agent. All of these people have a very specific and niche thing because they were given more information before they acted on your chat, right? And in this format, it doesn't require you sitting in front of your computer for this task and movement to happen. So you can think about it as this little avatar that is productive for you on your computer when you're not there or when you're not actively doing and working with it, right? The first piece I want to share with you that I am using every single day since I got it is Claude in Chrome. Claude in Chrome is a way for you to dabble in a entity taking over control based on your command. But the thing is, it is essentially limited to your Chrome window. So I know you maybe you've heard of OpenClaw, maybe you've heard of Claude Code and people running these scripts on their computer, which feels heavy, complicated, and a little bit extreme if you're just getting started or have just dipped your toe in. It is a way to understand what that looks like, as well as figure out how to start prompting. Everything is an evolution when it comes to it, and prompting in Claude and Chrome has its very own. But if you understand the basics of prompting with AI, I bet you that you can really succeed. So I will show you on my computer exactly what it means. It means I can run multiple tasks in the background while also using my computer. So here's a great list of examples you might want to use that for. As you see here, there's an option to decide whether it can act without or with your permission. So I have been using it with permission every single time because here's something you might not realize. There is a usage limit to your Claude subscription. You are going to want to check if its instructions that it will feed back to you, it's going to let you in on what it's planning to do. And you can take a quick glance and be like, oh shoot, that's not what I meant at all. Or that doesn't sound quite right. And you can kind of redirect it so that you're not wasting usage, which we never want to waste. So when you think about using your AI accounts, Claude is one that you're going to get a lot of heavy usage out of. And the more things you're letting bog down your ability to feel like you are sufficient in AI, you can ask AI and within seconds, it will provide you that information. You have this thing to go run this deep research off of a great brain dump. It is so groundbreaking in terms of our level of production and our capacity to create things, which many people have a negative taste in their mouths about, something that will slow you down when it comes to the people who climb on top in this era. This is a big shift, and the people who succeed climb in the chaos because they realize the chaos is where people stall, people question, people doubt. It is like Polaroid when they went out of business. They decided not to take the bets and not to believe that the world and the economy, the audience would shift towards digital cameras. Boom, the entire demand of film cameras disappeared essentially. Don't be Polaroid, but you don't have to go all in on agentic AI to win right now. If you are watching this video, you are already ahead of the curve. Kind of underground cousin access to a different format of ways that people are using it. Like the skills someone learned from their legal career, they bring that into their new speaking career and they don't even realize it. And that conjunction of, expertise kind of comes in together to create something magical, creative, something that sets you apart. So you have to use your own experiences in a way that will set you apart. Because I'm telling you, if you face the problems, the friction that the people in your industry faces, your peers or your clients, if you are the one person who's early enough and decides to step up to improve their understanding and to create it more efficient every month, you become the thought leader. You become the person who went first. Thought leaders are the people who went first and share the information they picked up along the way. And if you are sharing about your journey learning with AI in your world will start to see you as a leader in the new edge, in the new wave. But you don't have to worry about the fact that you're giving away too much information, useful information or whatever. Remember that the people who win in business are just the people who can solve the most problems. And if you can solve your own frustration and friction with AI, you can become the thought leader of your world and industry. So those were a very high level introduction to those concepts. And if anything interests you or you wanted to hear more about what I was saying or wanted me to go deeper, please leave it in the comments because I'd be happy to dive deep on any of these. I'm having way too much fun because the level of achievement and checklist checking is going crazy, but I know it's also the quality that doesn't scare me anymore. I know I'm not going to be like anybody else. So if you are a founder or a speaker who are serious about your thought leadership, SSS Lighthouse Creative is the place where you can see my building in public of a content engine, storytelling engine, and personal brand online that moves my business forward without me picking up phone calls and calling and cold emails. My digital presence is my own avatar, my own entity that works while I sleep. And that is the number one reason we can all level up together. So definitely check that video out here. Otherwise, if you want to get in and steal the insights, watch the work, follow or subscribe to SSS Lighthouse Creative. Peace out. Keep it real.